Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your travel god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a Monday evening video, right here on the home of all things ranting, the very legendary PG Rants channel. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down below in my pads, otherwise known as the description box below, where you can subscribe to all my other channels as well. Links are all down below in the gobbledygook. So do it now. Leave a comment on this video over any one of my videos from the past, now, and in the future. In the future, Conan. I'll get it on my mouth. That's what she said. But leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos on my respective channels in the past, now, and in the future, Conan. But only stupid comments, you will get beaten severely, and then sent to the Shadow Realm, and then Ozzy and Satan will just come out and laugh at you, and then eat your rotting soul. So don't do it. Go do it on your dead channel that nobody really cares about. Because nobody really cares about you. But, because a lot of people care about me. Nobody cares about you. So, that's that. But these stupid comments, you get blocked, hidden, and never be seen or heard from again. And that's all I gotta say about that. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Don't forget to tap and slap that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you miss anything, you're pretty much SOL. You know what that means. I've said it for 17 goddamn years. And counting. So I'm gonna keep saying it until you get it. Do your thin skulls. Some of you have no brain. That's that. So, if you don't know what SOL means, you freaking look it up or ask somebody, but they'll probably tell you the same fucking shit. You're SOL because you don't know. And that's that. So, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and all the good shit. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, you grab yourself a nice, big, huge, tasty, cold one. Or whatever you got. You got a small one, you got a big one, you got a medium-sized one. Whatever you got, sit back, relax, put your smelly, stinky, dirty feet up, and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You don't, then go watch something else. Simple as that. But you'll stay here because you love what I say. But then you twist it, and then you act like idiots when you don't have facts. So, you just misconstrue what I say. And that's pretty much it. With that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. On this Monday evening, August the 10th, 2022, as we're getting closer to the midpoint of the dog days of August, and we're counting down the weeks till Labor Day weekend, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting close to Labor Day weekend, the unofficial end of summer. And football begins on, preseason starts on Thursday for the 49ers. Play the Titans this Thursday. We're going to be watching that on the telly. Can't wait for that. Football. Can't wait for that. Week 1 in the NFL preseason. In the league where they play for pay. We got that. Baseball still continuing on. Mets and Braves about to start soon. Not that it's going to be any different, so I don't care. But it'd be nice to kind of knock a dent into the Braves a little bit, you know. It's in Atlanta, the House of Horrors for the Mets, but it is what it is. We got that, and that's it. We also got Monday Night Raw tonight, coming up in about an hour or so, on the great streaming site of Netflix. Roman's not on the show tonight, but we got a couple of good things on the show. Sol Ruka and a mystery partner. Ooh. Taking on Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. Who's it going to be? Could be Becky Lynch, could be Stephanie Vaquer, could be EO. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Tonight on Monday Night Raw, we got Seth freaking Rollins on the show. I forget who else, but we got the start of the tournament, the Luchador tournament, to see who loses to Roman on September the 14th in Mexico City, Mexico. So we got Pentagon, Zero, Miedo. I take it on the Laredo Kid. Guess who wins that? If you say Laredo Kid, I might have to slap you. But We got the start of the tournament, and all that other good shit tonight on your 2+ hour Cure for Insomnia. That's Monday Night Raw. But we'll talk about Raw probably tomorrow or whenever we can. I'm so backed up with videos, it's set. But in between that, ladies and gentlemen, hope you had a great Monday. Hot and steamy here in the Northeast. We got some thunder rumors just earlier, about an hour or so ago. Nice little downpour. What else is new? When it rains here, and it rains really hard. Get all those flooding downpours, and it's just it's a trek to get through some of them if you live in different parts of my area, but it is what it is. For me, I was home, so I could care less. The only thing I really get pissed off at is the fucking satellite goes out, and I have to, thankfully it goes to the streaming site, so, because I have the internet, so, minus that, I don't really care. But if you were out in the downpour earlier, I hope you had your umbrella, or at least remember to bring your umbrella. That's why you have to look at the weather app every once in a while. Because you never know when you can get caught in a monsoon. That's happened to me a lot of times. And I'm like, I didn't think it was going to rain today. Pfft, rain up the wazoo. But we have that. Alright. But other than that, I hope you had a great day. I had a pretty decent day. And that's all that matters. I'm waiting for Raw to go on. But before we get to Raw, before we do my SmackDown review, I went to do this a couple of days ago. I haven't done a rant in maybe about a month or so. It's been a while since I've done a rant. And everybody knows and comes here for the greatest rants in YouTube history. Because nobody, and I mean nobody, can do rants like me. I mean, there are a few others that can, like Joe Cronin, maybe Issa here and there. But anybody else, no. Sorry. You're not on my level. So kiss my ass. If you think you're better than me, haha, you're not. So, that's that. But I meant to do this a couple days ago, and I got a rant on this. And this is another edition of my great series, and which I kind of sort of took from my good buddy Ty1822. Big ups to you, sir. And he had a series called Shut Your Dumb Ass Up. Well, I took that and kind of remixed it, and I entitled it Shut the Fuck Up. Now, if you don't know what shut the fuck up means, it's me ranting for however long I feel like it about stupid things on the internet from stupid people that say stupid fucking shit. It could be in wrestling, it could be in baseball, it could be in politics, it could be anything. So, if you haven't seen my last few rants, go watch them right now. Do it now. Now, Winston. Wow. Okay. Sorry. That's a Discworld 1 and 2 reference if you played PlayStation before. Underrated game, by the way. Discworld 1, 2. There's a third one. I haven't played it, but I don't really want to. Golden Banana. No. I'm not going to go there, but we move on with that. But if you haven't seen any of my last few rants, watch it now. But this one, oh, baby. You better bring some popcorn. I'm like, well, I'm going to try not to go too long, but I have to say one thing. Shut the fuck up to you, sir, Conrad Thompson, you fat fuck. This fat fuck. And I'll have to calm myself down because, I'm going to start going like Scott Steiner. He's fat, because he is fat. Fat fucking dumb fuck of a podcaster, and we've seen him on Dark Side of the Ring. Maybe you should stick to that and shut up. This motherfucker goes on social media. Actually, it wasn't even on social media. He was on 83 Weeks with another schmuck, Eric Bischoff, and they're talking, about wrestling and stuff like that. Then they get into a conversation about our tribal chief. Put up your fucking ones for the tribal chief, the GOAT of the modern era. Well, actually, of now, the GOAT of the modern era. We all know it's The Undertaker. But the man who kind of passed the torch to that guy, and that's Roman fucking Reigns. Conrad Thompson, this idiot, goes on and calls Roman, and I'm quoting this, probably the most overrated main eventer in WWE history. Really now. Saying that he doesn't think WWE's fortunes would change at all if Roman would have disappeared tomorrow. Let me say something, Conrad, you stupid fuck, and listen. Listen to the words that are coming out of my great mouth. You are a fucking mark. Why? You say that Roman, if Roman left today, let's say Roman came out today and said, "Oh, I'm going to leave, y'all. I'm done wrestling, y'all." You say that WWE's fortunes would change. Yeah, you think they would? Because without Roman, the WWE is nothing. Oh, we got Cody Rhodes. No! Fuck Cody. He's an overrated piece of shit. CM Punk, another overrated piece of shit. You think Cody and Punk are gonna take the WWE into the next millennium? No. Oh, we got Oba. Oh yeah, Oba. I give Oba credit. Oba is the future of the WWE. I think he could be the next big star, like Brock was back in the day, and he passed the torch. He passed the torch to Mr. Oba. But how could you say Roman is overrated? He's an overrated main eventer when he's been in 10 to 12 of the last main events in WrestleMania. Dumb. This fucking guy, I wanna take him and go, "Why you little," fucking hate you, Conrad. And I know everybody is entitled to an opinion, but when you have a stupid fucking opinion, you need to get your ass handed to you. I'm sorry. I know I've said some fucked up shit in the past, but I'm entitled to my own opinion. I might sound hypocritical at times. Even in this video, if I sound hypocritical, I don't give a fuck. Okay? But saying Roman is overrated, that boggles my mind. And I called Cena. John Cena is the most overrated superstar in WWE history. Not WWE history, I should say. In the PG era, up to now. Minus Cody and Punk, basically. Overrated fucking piece of shit that John Cena was. Back in the day. But say Roman? Come on now, dude. Stone Cold Steve Austin back in the day, I mean, seriously. Hogan, yeah, Hogan was kind of overrated early on, A lot of people thought Hogan was very political. He wanted to get everything. He wanted to hold a title, almost as long as Bruno Sammartino. He was number 5 on the list, but still. At least I think he's number 5, somewhere around 3 or 5, I forget, whatever. But anyway, Roman has brought the money. And for the last 12 WrestleMania, since WrestleMania 31, who was in the main event at 31? Roman. 32, Roman. 33, Roman. 34, Roman. 35, he wasn't, because that was, we all know what that was. Roman was, I don't know if Roman was at 35, but, he wasn't in the main event, I know that, but still. 36 was the pandemic year, we know that. Roman wasn't there. 37, I don't think Roman was in the main event in 37. Then 38 to 42. Pretty much Roman was in the main event picture. He beat Hogan's record of most main events in WrestleMania history. So, and he brought so much gate to fucking WWE. You think Cody can do that by himself if Roman wasn't there? No. Punk? Probably not. I think the only person that can probably do it if Roman left today is Oba. Because fans love Oba. Seth Rollins? Not really, and his title reigns have been boring. Roman's gonna leave in another couple years. Who's gonna take his place? Probably Oba. There's so much talent from NXT. I just don't see any of those talents from NXT. And I know that we have Mike Santana down there. We have my cousin Tony D. I just don't think they're going to be on that level of what Roman has done. So to say that Roman's overrated at Conrad, I think you need to check your figures again. I mean, it's just so dumb what you say. And we're going, a lot of people in the WC have been going back and forth, saying that, the people defending Conrad, I don't know why, but because you're fucking Marks, like, oh yeah, Conrad, yeah, Roman's overrated. But then you go on and you root for people like Cody and Punk, who are overrated. Are we all hypocrites here? I guess. And basically Conrad's main points and his back and forth tweets with a lot of the IWC revolve around his opinion that unlike every other top guy in WWF, WWE history, Roman has been heavily dependent on a manager. So this goes to Paul Heyman. So, because before Paul Heyman, Roman was basically, the promos sucked. The suffering succotash gimmick. And then the dog food shit, that was all Vince's crap. After the pandemic, when Roman came back, and then we saw him sitting next to Paul Heyman, we were like, what is this about, Paul Heyman? I never thought that Roman would get with Paul Heyman. And then for the last 4 years when he had that monster title reign, does he really need Paul Heyman? No. I don't think he needs Paul Heyman. Personally, when I saw that, I'm like, it's interesting, but I don't think Roman needs a mouthpiece. I really don't. Now that he doesn't have Paul Heyman with him, but this is like 5 years, about 5 years later, his promos have just been spot on. He's not forgetting his lines. If you don't want to get seen on I think it was 2019, somewhere around that area. But now Roman's promos have been better. Has he got the influence from Paul? Yes. Does he need Paul? No. I don't think he ever needed him in that whole Bloodline storyline, which is still going on, and it's going to continue when Roman probably leaves the company. We still got to have the Usos. We're going to have Jacob, Solo, who's just changed his fucking career around as being a face. The fans love him. We're going to open Raw tonight with Solo. Interesting. Solo Dodo, Can't wait for that. But, there's some points that I kind of agree with Conrad on, but but saying Roman is overrated, I can't get behind that. I can't. And he even said Stone Cold Steve Austin didn't need a manager once he broke away from Ted DiBiase. The Rock didn't need a manager. He never had a manager. He was just in, he came up as Rocky Maivia, then they turned him heel when he joined the Nation of Domination, and then when he broke away from the Nation, became kind of sort of a good guy, and then his promos started getting way better, and people loved him. Hogan, same way, he didn't need a manager. Cena never needed a manager. Even Randy, Macho Man Randy Savage, he didn't need a manager at the time, and, Miss Elizabeth was just there to look good. Right, Liz? That's right, Mr. Joseph. Thank you. Anyway, Randy never needed a manager. His promos were just spot on, too, the cream of the crop, those type of promos. Did you see Liz there? No. Where was Liz? I don't know. Probably getting banged by somebody else. I don't know. Bret Hitman Hart? Yeah, he had Jimmy Hart when they were tag team with the Hart Foundation with him and Jimmy the Apple Neidhart. But Bret was kind of like, when Bret did promos when he was tag teaming, he didn't really talk much. But then when he became, they broke away from the Hart Foundation and then became the World Wrestling Federation champion, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Yeah, his promos were pretty good. Shawn Michaels after a while, with the Rockers, wasn't very good, and then he became the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, and then, he teamed up with Diesel. His promos were pretty decent, but other than that, there was so many people that never needed a manager. They didn't need, like, a Miss Elizabeth or Jimmy Hart or Classy Freddie Blassie. Actually, take that back, Hogan did have a manager, Classy Freddie Blassie, back in the day, if you watch AWA for a little bit. Yeah, Hogan came out with Classy Freddie Blassie at certain times. Not, I don't think in WWF times, but I know AWA. But did Hogan really need Classy Freddie Blassie? No. It was like all these other people that needed Bobby the Brain Heenan. I mean, a legendary manager, but they really needed him to get their career up and going. You know, when they broke away from Heenan. Some did, some didn't. You know, like Don Morocco was part of the Heenan family at one point. Hercules Hernandez at one point. Even Paul Orndorff. You know, even Bundy, five. You know, Bundy never needed anybody, even though we never heard from him much. But that's still another point. Whatever. But when Roman was paired with Heyman, yeah, his promos got better. I give Conrad that. And you can see in his promos, they were just spot on. Good shit. But to say he's overrated, I cannot get behind. So, Conrad, you need to shut the fuck up. And you know, watch the product a little bit better. I'm just saying. You know, back in the day when Roman first debuted with the Shield, even before the Shield, when it was an FCW, and then it became NXT, you know, he was kind of green. We know him as Leaky and everything. Then he joined. He wasn't even supposed to join the Shield. It was supposed to be, oh, guess who? Your hero, Chris Hero. Or I think Punk said that it was supposed to be Chris Hero. I wouldn't have been okay with that. But we all know the story of Chris Hero. We don't want to go there. Cash is on all you. And now, where's Chris Hero now? I think he's in AEW as a coach now. Not really doing much. He doesn't wrestle anymore. I don't even think he does indie work anymore. I think he's just a coach now. But, you know, what would it have been if Chris Hero was in the Shield? You think the Shield would have been as big as it was then with Roman? And where would Roman be? Would Roman still be the big dog? You know, this is my yard, y'all. I'm in remission, y'all. You think Roman would still be the big dog? You think Roman would be the greatest, you know, well, not the greatest, but one of the biggest stars in WWE history right now? You think we see the Tribal Chief? I doubt it. Would he be with Paul? I think he still would have been with Paul. He would eventually get the Paul Heyman territory like he was. But, you know, but if Roman wasn't in the Shield, I don't even think we'd be talking about this situation where Roman is overrated. I don't think Roman's overrated. If I had to say that people of wrestlers that are overrated in WWE, gotta go with Cody and Punk. Cody and Punk are the most overrated, overhyped pieces of garbage in WWE. I'm just being real. I might sound hypocritical, like I said, but everybody else is hypocritical when you say that, you know, Roman's overrated. Oh, Punk's overrated. Oh, Cody's overrated. Like I said, we have our own opinion. And we're entitled to our own opinion. Like, I'm doing my opinion right now about Conrad. You know, people might not like it, and, you know, I'm not, you know, going off other people that love Roman like Issa, but, you know, Issa has her own opinion. I have my own opinion on Conrad. You know, I think Conrad, you need to just shut up. Let Roman do his thing. I mean, I just can't get behind this shit. I just can't. Who saved WWE during the pandemic era? Roman. You know, during the Thunderdome era. Roman's doing promos to a fucking camera. Because of COVID and shit. It was kind of embarrassing. I agree. If I was a wrestler, I'm just staring at the hard camera most of the time, cutting a promo. I'm like, where's the fucking fans? And all I see is LED boards with all the fans on it. I'm like, what am I, in a Zoom call? Shit. But yeah, Roman made the pandemic era look good. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Who else was better than that in the pandemic era? Who else was better? You know, Cody, if you go to AEW, Cody was one of the big parts of the pandemic era. The Bucks, Kenny, the Elite, well, basically the Elite. I think if COVID never happened, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if we would see the Tribal Chief Roman version. I think we would still, but it would got a big pop in front of a live crowd when Roman came back at SummerSlam that year. SummerSlam, what year was that? That was 2020, 21. I think it was 21, 20 or 21 when Roman came back. If there were fans in wherever they're gonna be they're gonna have SummerSlam at, the pop he would have got would have been. I mean, he got pops when he came back. He's come back. He would take off for like a couple months, and then next thing you know, here's Roman. The pop he got, just amazing. But if COVID never happened, I guarantee that pop he would have got in whatever stadium or arena that SummerSlam and then Payback were at. Forget it. Fuck the pandemic era. I mean, Roman wouldn't have to do anything with the pandemic era. He would just save SummerSlam, basically. But it is what it is. But you can't say Roman is overrated. I personally don't think Roman is overrated. And yes, I've said really bad shit to about Roman back in the day when he was just getting shoved down our throat. The same thing with Cena. I was like, yeah, Cena's fucking overrated. I still think he's overrated. But not so much during the retirement era, but whatever. I hated Cena. I hated Roman. I was like, Roman is so fucking overrated, and Roman's just I can't stand him. And yeah, I said some mean things about Roman, but then when he came out with his leukemia thing, and like, I got leukemia, y'all, I was like, you know what? I'm taking everything I ever said about Roman back. And I made the apology video and everything else. Not because of someone that I known for basically 5 years. No, I'm not a Roman fan because of that person. So, get off that bullshit. Okay? When Roman came back on Raw and said, I'm in remission, y'all, I was a fan right then and there. So, 2019, motherfuckers, not 2021. Sorry. There's your receipt. That's that. But, people are entitled to their opinions about wrestlers. I used to like Punk, way back in his Ring of Honor days, the pipe bombs, even in AEW. Yeah, but now he's getting very fucking stale. I just can't get through a segment with him doing a promo. I mean, yeah, some of the promos are good, but I'm like, yeah, he's just there to, collect the money. And then the whole thing with him and Cody, those segments have been so boring. Almost 20 minutes of like, oh, just shut up. Like I always say, a little less talk and a lot more action. Just fight already. And then at times, like, just kiss already, Just fuck. I don't care. Just boring. I can't stand. I didn't really like Cody that much. I met Cody back in the day when it was in the I think it was before he joined the Elite. I met him at, I think it was Final Battle. I met him at Final Battle when he was facing Jay Lethal, and then he kicked Jay Lethal in the balls. I'm like, you son of a bitch, And I met him. I said, thank you. That I grew up with your father. Dusty Rose, American Dream, baby. I said, Cody, I grew up with your father. He's a great man. I want to thank you for, thank him if I could. I would thank him, for everything. And I mean, good luck with your career so far. I followed your career in WWE as Stardust. All that other stuff. But I didn't hate Cody till pretty much like 2-3 years ago. I'm like Cody. I'm not Cody. Sorry. When when Roman talked about Cena getting rammed down our throat, it's like missionary position every single night. That's Cody. Cody is Cena 2.0. Every time Cody comes out, it's just boring. He's overrated. His title reigns have been boring. Now people are like, oh, Roman got the World Heavyweight title back. Oh, same fucking shit. Oh, he's boring. This reign is garbage. He's overrated. I mean, how could you say that about one of WWE's top merch guys? Cena was a top merch guy back in the day. Even when Roman was starting to get hot. Who was the top merch guys? Roman. Roman, Seth Rollins, stuff like that. It is what it is. Hold on a second, guys. I'll call you right back. I'm in the bathroom. I'll call you right back. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, moving on with that. So, the missus needs me for something. So, I have to finish this video up pretty quick. So, all in all, the point I want to make is, Conrad Thompson, just shut the fuck up, dude. Okay? Just stick to your boring podcast with another douche, Eric Bischoff, and just shut up, alright? You don't know anything about Roman. You can say he's overrated, but he makes the money. Okay? He's been making money. He's been in main events. Almost every pay-per-view, he's in a main event. Okay? He's making money. Without Roman, WWE makes nothing. Who's the next big star? It's Oba. At this point, it's Oba. Because Cody and Punk are not going to get the money that Roman got. In the 5 years that Roman's been the tribal chief. It's not. He's not overrated. He's not. You want to talk about people that are overrated at Conrad? Look at Cody Rhodes. Look at CM Punk. Okay? That's just my opinion. Take it with what you will. But let me know what you guys think of that, of Conrad Thompson's remarks about Roman. Leave your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. Like Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's that. So, I'm going to get out of here. I got to help the missus with some dinner. And that's that. We got Raw coming up. And that's that. So, until next time, my friends. Respect the tribal chief. He's not overrated. That's all I got to say about that. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Peace.